Acorn.
Yeah.
You might remember this guy from about a year ago. I covered him. Noah Samson. He's also a very good horror movie reviewer. You remember that?
Was he the one that did the horror movie review about The Hills Have Eyes?
Hmm.
Banana.
Well, lo and behold, I found out today that not only is he an idiot, but now he has become a Hassan lackey. He he follows Hassan, and Hassan watches his videos on stream. And whenever Hassan watches your video, he pays full attention and he doesn't play the whole thing live on stream and walk away or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an ad break in 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to cover him. He's reaching out and calling a bunch of YouTubers that saying they want to end a whole race of people called Hamas, Palestinians.
Mikey, you always bring the greatest topics here in the Banana Bear Show. I'm not going to be triggered at all.
The Banana Bear Show! Greatest has come again! Hell yeah! The Banana Bear Show! The Banana Bear Show! Covering the sick and the dumb woke. Laughing at them cause we want the smoke. The Banana Bear Show!
We talked about this guy a year ago, and I thought, okay, this will be a one-time thing, just because I watch Think Before You Sleep, and
You just wanted to see me rage out on a liberal idiot art student that wanted to break down a movie about shit that he has no clue about.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
well,
You
we're
got
back.
me on that one.
I did, and I don't think this one will make you rage as hard, but I know how much you love him, and then it's got Hassan in it, so
Oh, good. 2 for 1, idiot special.
For the
Awesome.
past few years on YouTube. For the past few years, there's a big industry that's exploded in popularity.
Guys holding
It's
that
based
mic
on a
weird.
simple concept: Hassan bad, Hassan
Yeah.
Pikers bad, and he's dumb and bad and a terrorist probably. It's also wild because the political content creator in question is an anti-genocide content creator, and the arguments they're attacking him for are anti-genocide arguments. So these creators, they're positioning themselves in opposition to him and his arguments, de facto positioning themselves on the pro-genocide side.
Well, I mean, maybe these people don't like Hassan.
does that make any sense to you?
Well, he's he's anti-genocide because you're against him. You're pro-genocide, but that's not the case. He's pro-terrorist and people are anti-terrorists.
Yep.
Piker
I
thinks
just
he says
fixed
a
that
lot
whole
of dumb
thing.
You just had to tune the logic right.
things that aren't always related to the
The
Israel-Palestine
facts.
situation. In fact, most of the criticism towards him over the years has nothing to do with that at all. But according to Noah, anyone who criticizes Hassan now loves it when people die. Okay, I'm loving the us versus them mentality. And, well, I think it's time for the yearly Noah Samson check-in. Last time was pretty crazy with the Illumation stuff, but this time Noah seems to be even more off his meds than usual. I guess he decided that slandering one of his opponents to try to get his audience to deplatform that opponent wasn't enough, so now he's slandering a bunch of big YouTubers.
You know what's weird though? I barely recognize him.
Yeah.
He's
I
got
think-
the cowboy hat on. Or the cowboy jacket, whatever it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the jacket. It had the tassels.
Why can't people grow see how right now, because I'm bored. I have a goatee, right? It's a
Yeah.
full goatee. Why can't he?
T, man. He doesn't have the T.
To try to get his audience to, well, we'll get to that. But first, a little backstory on the whole Hassan Piker, Noah Samson, and Ethan Klein situation. About 2 months ago, YouTuber Ethan Klein released a content.
Okay, long story short. Ethan Klein released a content nuke on Hassan, trying to get him banned off Twitch. Like many other people, I think it was Destiny's co-host tried to do that with the sponsors, and everybody, a lot of people have tried to get Hassan banned, like fairly banned, because of his pro-terrorism talking and interviewing and propping up terrorists, along with many other things, covering things stupidly, loads of misinformation. You name it, Hassan's done it, and the reason they want that is because they want it to be fair on the platform. Because a lot of stuff that Hassan has done, many other people have done and got banned for it permanently and slaps on the wrist. But he's had a 1-day ban. That's it. 1 day. Yeah.
Anybody else will get destroyed.
Yep.
Channel's being taken down.
And you know what the 1 day was for? Calling for someone, a Republican, to be offed. But he used actual words,
Yeah.
take him out words. So had he not used those words, I don't think he would have got that ban. But he straight up used the words, like he was bold enough to just straight out say it.
Dummy.
Nuke on his former Leftovers podcast, Palestinians being hurt, and Israelis are the Voldemort-like evil perpetrators of that harm. And look, personally, I don't have a lot of interest in this war.
Gaza. He doesn't give any specifics about.
Let's go further into detail for why Noah didn't like Ethan's content nuke on Hassan.
The real reason I'm talking about Ethan's video today is less about what he says in it and more about what he doesn't say, the things he chooses to leave out. Ethan omits the Palestinian side of the story entirely. He doesn't talk about Gaza. He doesn't give any specifics about what Israel is doing there. And this is an issue. Western media.
It's a content nuke on Hassan, not Palestine and Israel. Why would he say anything about that?
He even brings up the fact that what's going on in there. There's casualties on both sides.
Yep.
Yes. But the reason why a lot of people are, and I still am dumbfounded that a lot of people are pro-Palestine on this shit. The Palestinian people are not the ones doing all this shit. It's Hamas. Hamas runs Palestine because they're a terrorist organization that bomb people. They use human shields. And don't get me wrong, Israel is they do some deplorable shit.
Yes.
I get it. However, if you've been in a war for so many years, you're going to have a lot of hatred towards those people. And are both sides incorrect on their actions? Yeah. But seeing that they've been to the table before, right? On the whole, okay, we'll do a 2-state, thing. Every time the Palestinians say, no, we want everything. And they're like, no. They've given them this, and they still say no. So it's to the point where, fuck it. They're going to die on this hill. They're going to do some horrible shit. And people don't realize that, in the Middle East, if you are a jihad war, that means they believe God is telling them they need to destroy these people.
Yep.
In their religion, and I know some people may disagree with me on this, but in their religion, they consider people that are not, Muslim, inferior. And they need to be, destroyed.
Yep. And they can be. Anybody that goes against their religion, should be destroyed in there.
Or heresies or heretics, and they need to be cleansed or something like that.
And that's not all Muslims. That's,
but
sects.
That's what it says in their shit. Right.
But not all Muslims think, translate it that way or whatever it is.
However, the worst thing about, the Muslim thing, it's kind of like the Jewish faith. A Jewish person, a heavily Jewish person, will not go against another Jew. Muslims the same way. That's why you see Muslim people. They're not saying what Hamas is doing is wrong, because then they're slandering their brothers.
Yep.
So denounce it. They won't.
Nope. And that's what has to happen. Part of your community has to denounce you to even start to make something stop. Or somebody else can come in and just completely hit a brick wall and you're stopped, which is...
And all religions do this. Fucking around the Holocaust, the Catholic Church fucking denounced the Holocaust. They said it didn't happen. but there's obvious proof that it did.
Yep.
They were doing that trying to like, trying to wash their hands of it. You know, any religion is like this. And that's one of the bad things about like having a religion that's like stick with your brothers in faith, even if they do something bad. It's wrong. Like no matter what, if you're not a part of it and you don't know all the facts, shut the fuck up. That's why I don't talk about it.
Yep.
If somebody brings it up, I'm like, end it. Nuke them both then.
Yeah. Well,
We'll put them all there.
I don't think that's. I feel like we should back out. I don't feel like the U.S. should be involved in most crises that we get
But
involved in.
You have to realize this though, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that Palestinian people or pro-Palestine people have against Israel is that they're basically they're America. Like they have they have the UN backing them
Yeah.
because how they made that country, they put them in there because they needed a
Yep.
place to go because their country was gone. Now Jewish people have been there before, but they put them there and they're like, you're going to be fine, and they give them all the tech they needed, right?
Yep.
And then they're surrounded by people that hate them. And over the years, they've been beating down them, and they've been beating them back. And you have these people that have this blind hatred so much for the Jewish people. They took our land, but it was never their land. It was like I think it was England's.
Mm.
Once again, I don't know all the facts. That's why I'm not going
Right.
to talk about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. This is more about him lying. So.
The manufacturer's consent for large-scale terror operations across the globe in a number of ways. There are more overt forms like atrocity propaganda. There are also more subtle ways like deceptively framing information, using passive language, and creating false perceptions about
Who do we know that does that? Hassan, maybe?
Yeah.
conflicts through things
Hassan
like
is literally for
Cheerleader, a puppet.
for Hamas. Yeah, for Hamas, for all these people.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if he knows that he is.
Oh, he
But
knows.
if he is, then you could go away.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh yeah, he knows he is. I mean, they just dance. They're really good singers, right? They just cheer. It's just dancing. It's music videos,
burying the
Oh,
lead
man, I guess like
and
Luffy.
lies by omission. All of these tactics are present in Ethan's video and the wider online smear campaign that motivated it. But it's that last thing that I think does quite a bit of damage, lying by omission.
So this is incredibly dishonest framing from Noah. Ethan's video is more about Hassan and not fully a response to the Israel-Palestine situation.
As we said earlier.
Palestinian victims.
Hey, Ethan Klein, thank you for the dono. Ethan Klein gave $6,500. My goat.
What did he do? He donated to a fundraiser. Okay. But what if I told you that this donation was a one-time donation of what is likely less than 1% of his yearly income?
Gee, with a thank you like
Motherfucker!
that-
Motherfucker! You donate that money.
Yeah.
You didn't need to donate anything. I hate. So, do you remember when was it the guy that owns Amazon?
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He like donated something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was like, that was barely 1% of his income. Bitch, he didn't have to donate nothing.
Yep.
Why are people like this?
Because they're
Fuck, man.
idiots. Yeah, they
Like-
they always got to be a victim.
If I donate like $10, right? Well, that's not even 1% of what you make. I didn't have to put the $10 in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. Money's still money.
Yeah.
What are you going to use it for? Making more, rockets?
I mean, even if one person donates $1 and another person, eventually that all adds up. Like it all helps to whatever the cause is.
That's like, all right, when we do a live show and shit, and somebody donates like $1 or $1.99.
Mhm.
Well, why did you donate $10? I know that you have a job. Bitch, we're not going to say that because, like,
No.
one, you don't have to donate, and when you do,
Exactly.
we're very appreciative of it.
Yes.
Right? That's fucking dumb. That's really dumb. And I hate that comment. Like, fucking, and I hear it a bunch. You entitled fucking little proof fuckers.
Yep.
Fucking, and it's obviously the people that don't have the money, or when they get the money, like, I hate, Mikey, we have small success with the Banana Bear Show, right?
Yes.
we're not on the top grade list. This is still a hobby. It will forever be a hobby.
Yeah.
I don't want this to be my job. I would kill myself if that was the case.
Oh no.
However, if we just got money from talking about dumb shit we see online, somehow maybe it would warp my brain where I think that money comes on trees because it's just been coming and flow and flow. I don't know about this guy. I don't think he makes any money because his content's shit. I could be wrong. I don't know, but he has
I think he
his
makes a
artsy
little.
his artsy partsy fucking viewpoint on the world. It's always the fucking socialists that why don't the rich people give more? Because they made the money. I don't get me wrong. I wish I was rich.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone does. Do I wish that if a rich person could pay all the taxes, I don't have to? Sure, I'm not rich.
Yeah.
Benefits for me. But when somebody gives to the charity or gives money to a cause or something like that, and then you have the audacity to talk about finances, well, if they were really concerned, they would give that much money. Rich people usually don't have money, okay?
Yep.
It's tied up in other shit. That's how they become rich and stay rich. That means they have to do other shit to bring out the money and then give it out. And maybe they got a tax write-off for it because a lot of people that do charity stuff, that's what they do.
Right.
They don't need to do that.
Nope.
If that was the case, Banana Bear charity, I would like to buy a scooter, so I could ride from the river to the sea. I'll put buzzwords in there.
Mm-hmm.
And if one person donates $1, why didn't you donate more?
Why don't I
don't you
have
believe
that?
in my cause? Don't you believe in my dumb cause of getting a scooter? I want to be that cool boy on the street, ride my scooter. Fuck.
Forms Patreon, gonna be the cool guy.
Cool guy with the scooter. Gonna wear the shades and go out and say hello, ladies. Look at
Why
my
would
red scooter.
anyone want to help the Palestinians? That being said, Ethan Klein
is messed up. I can think of something even more messed up than accusing someone of supporting genocide, which is, actually supporting genocide.
Noah actually has a history of making false accusations with his video titles
Does he live in that room?
I don't
This
know.
couch looks awfully like a bed.
and thumbnails. This is not a new behavior from him.
What happened at all?
So many similarities.
What happened?
I found it on the whole Israel-Palestine thing. Let's watch this clip that I found. I found it on Noah's list of source citations from his video.
I think that there is an actual case of genocide, and there's an actual case of attack that goes towards the Palestinian people. I think there's very serious situations that go around the world. If you've ever
Every country is like this, and it's more like say people white people. If you don't say that there's racism to black people, you're just a part of the problem. No, I'll admit people are racist towards black people, but
Yes.
black people are racist towards white people.
Yes.
It's called tribalism.
Yes.
And the main thing is the reason why I think it's so stupid people do the race bait shit is because nowadays if someone's not online, sadly this generation is online more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So they get echo chambered. And then whatever group that you're listening to, you're a part of that group. So, I love Trump, so I'm a Trump head. So that means everyone that doesn't like Trump is an idiot. But that's not the case. Some people don't like Trump because of his actual policies and all that stuff, which is, plausible. Okay, you don't like what he's doing over here, right? You rather have more money to the foreign, shit, whatever.
Yeah.
Same thing with Obama. When Obama was off office, a lot of people hated Obama and were like, "Oh, it's because you're racist." No, it's because they didn't like his policies. They didn't like what he was doing, and all this stuff. And it's not just the issues, right? Because I think it was Asmongold that recently watched a video of an old 1996, or it was 2006, of Pelosi talking about we should put tariffs on foreign countries because we're going to lose our businesses. And I'm like, holy shit, she said that? What changed? And a lot of people were like, because the whole Wall Street shit happened, and a lot of you have the diversity like virus that went into the Democratic thing. That's another fucking video altogether. But like the tribalism with that, you're in Israel,
Hmm.
and people that don't like you and want you dead, say from the river to the sea, they want you fucking annihilated. You're going to hate those people. Obviously, you're going to hate them. So yeah, they're gonna when they, because everybody in their country has to go into the army.
Hmm.
You know, they're gonna have this blind hatred, although probably not as major as people are saying, to these people that hate them. It's just like 9/11, right?
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of people, even me, I'll admit it, I had a lot of kind of hatred towards the Middle East because
Hmm.
I'm seeing them say, death to America. Man, I'm American.
Hmm.
That pisses, fuck you.
Yep.
Not fuck me, fuck you. You know? So obviously during that time, during 9/11, and when we went into Iraq and Israel and Afghanistan,
Hmm.
a lot of people were kind of mind swept into the whole they're evil.
Yep.
And now it comes out that Iraq fucking we attacked them because Saddam Hussein, great guy by the way, um, he did this horrible thing of changing what his currency was going to be to buy his oil from the American dollar to something else. And the government didn't want that, so they fucking went after him. For us, we're like, well, we don't care. We don't own oil.
Yeah.
But to the government, they needed to push that whole America for us. And then that kind of waved away when people were realizing what was going on.
Hmm.
And then you got the all that stuff. Then Obama went in, didn't really hear anything other than, oh, he's not American. And then, you get the Trump phase, and you still have the, oh, government bad. And hey, that same party was the one that told us to go to, Iraq, to go all that stuff. So you have the starting of that hatred, and then you have the other people, well, he's racist. But yet, but yet, I I challenge anybody to go and find where he said something racial. He never has. You could make something about him saying something about Mexicans across the board. Oh, they're all bad people.
Yeah.
Most of them are criminals and they're doing horrible things. And but in a broad stroke wise, there were a lot of people that were criminals that were crossing. However,
Right.
not all of them, but that broad stroke thing. That's the problem with politics. Broad stroking shit.
Because
Uh,
it's because a lot of little people who don't pay attention, they hear one thing and they're like, "Oh, I understand this," and they pull it out of the air and they're like, "Ah, this is what I'm going to latch on to because I understand this. I can understand that not all people who come across the border are bad, but Trump said a lot of them are bad, so he's bad."
on top of that, oh, how dare you call so you're saying all Mexicans are rapists? No, he didn't say that.
Mm-mm.
But that's what they hear.
Yep.
But I'm bringing this up, and I hate doing the politics thing, but I'm bringing it up because I used to be left-sided,
Mhm.
on my viewpoints. And the one thing that got me, and it's weird that it got me, I saw this guy on YouTube saying how and this was like the first week that Trump was in office for his first term. They're saying we need to impeach him, blah blah blah. Blah blah. He's doing all this stuff. We need to impeach him. I'm just thinking, I'm like, he hasn't done anything yet. Like, why all this hate? And I'm seeing all this hate. I'm like, why? So I started doing research on the other side. I'm like, what? But but we all don't want we all know politicians are fucking corrupt pieces of shit.
Yes.
Don't we want to drain the swamp? And they're all saying, no, but this guy's evil. But I've never seen him be evil. I've seen him like this. Yeah, he's a fucking a reality show, host of The Apprentice, and he was on, WrestleMania, shaving Vince McMahon's head. Like he's not a politician.
Nope.
So that's why people were like, drain the swamp. And was his term like the worst? No, actually, I remember I made more money in my life when it came to those 4 years.
Hmm.
My dad, when he was alive and he was an electrician, he made the most money with Clinton. Now, obviously, that shit turned around when Bush got into office because all that all that credit, that was more Reagan. Um, but like, it, I'm going off of how it reacted to me. If fucking Biden in office, like, let's say I made more money and all that shit, I would like Biden. But if anything, I'm paying more for shit I've been getting. The pandemic was overdone, everyone says, and I lived it.
Yes.
Like and it, once again, you could believe whatever you want, but just do the research and make sure. Like, I don't care. My feelings are gonna be. It don't mean shit when it comes to like if I see Trump doing something retarded, like putting somebody on those like that text thing, that reporter, that was retarded.
Yeah.
You're retarded. Like, and the Doge shit, half the stuff, them fucking up. Now, it's not the worst thing ever, but it's showing dumbness on his part.
The good comes with the bad. Usually the correct thing or the true thing is in the middle. It's like, the Democrats are, Republicans are so bad. Republicans are like, Democrats are so bad. And it's usually like somewhere, like, they're both stupid. They both have their flaws. They both have their inconsistencies. They both have their evil people in them. And, they both make big mistakes, huge mistakes. I mean...
Oh, yeah, both of them are bad.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that, like here's this, as bad as the Democrats, in my opinion, are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a perfect time to fucking reinvent your fucking party into something that we all want. We want that middle. Give us the middle, goddammit. I don't want to be... I'm not hardcore conservative. There's a lot of things that conservative people... They say something, I'm like, you are retarded.
Yep.
Like, but, you have to have the check and balance. When Trump was in office before, you still had strong Democrats where, like, even the dumbness of fucking Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders is a socialist motherfucker. Like, he is socialist. However, it doesn't seem like he's evil. Like he's doing it for the right reasons. I mean, this is before RFK pointed out that he's made more money off of those pharmaceutical companies than anybody else, and made me think of him differently now. But I don't know. It's just, we need more balance, and we're not having it. And how our country is, it used to be like people had religion, that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now people have politics. That's the religion now.
Yeah.
And if you fucking step on their toes, they were fucking gonna tell you.
Yep.
You're a grown-up Muslim, and I have, then you know that there is a serious culture of anti-Semitism, in amongst the most conservative of Muslim circles. Just as you will know that there is a serious amount of Islamophobia in the most right-wing of Jewish circles. These are two groups of people that literally are just fighting each other. And when it comes to people...
Exactly what you said.
Yep. I'm not making it up.
Arab
No.
to Jew racial tier list. Top and most desirable tier is Arab.
And this shit is like blatantly like racist.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the shit. Like, fucking, you can get away with it because it's not a white guy doing it.
Yep.
Like, that's like top tier list. Who's more white? Like,
yeah,
dumb.
I think we should do that.
No, fuck you. I don't want to get canceled.
Israel-Palestine drama was an infamous panel at TwitchCon 2024 where Denham's, Frogan, and some other people that nobody knows did this like game where they rated content creators from Arab to Love Sabra, which honestly seems like a boring idea for a panel, but apparently there was a hidden dog whistle in there.
Because Frogan is the two-time Rising Star champ, and because of her massive viewership of 100 concurrent viewers, it only makes sense that Twitch would give her one of the main stages at TwitchCon to do a 45-minute long segment. Her idea that was Twitch approved, an Arab to Jew racial tier list. Top and most desirable tier is Arab. And at the bottom, the worst one is, quote, loves Sabra. Now, why does love Sabra equate to Jews?
Okay, that's because it is a Jewish thing.
Yeah.
It is.
Sabra is it's a dish.
Yes, and I think it's owned by a Jewish company. And that's the tier list for you. Just FYI, that's Ethan Klein that they did a really bad picture of. And then look who's on top. Gross.
But have this pasty white guy tell us
The
more.
purpose of radicalizing his audience and enraging them against his enemies. For example, a part of Noah's video was about people rightfully complaining that Hasan has violated Twitch rules numerous times by doing things like promoting a terrorist organization, and he's only gotten a 1-day ban for it, and only after Twitch started getting bad press.
So that's what I was talking about. He actually said off Rick Scott, if you want to say, but he literally said the actual word, and got a 1-day ban. One day, but what would happen to us, Gorham?
Gone.
we would immediately be kicked off Twitch. That's why we don't stream on Twitch.
Yet Asmongold has a single moment where he said some bad stuff, and he got a 14-day ban. In his video, Noah talks about this ban and shows a clip of Asmongold saying some messed up things.
Asmongold made some comments that explicitly justified Israel's genocide of Palestinians in Gaza.
I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. They come from an inferior culture. I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
Noah actually shows this moment in both the videos that he's being sued for. And I'll agree that this clip is
Oh, by the way, Ethan Klein is suing Noah.
Good.
For defamation. So, all right.
pretty bad. If you only saw that, you would think that Asmongold is a horrible person. This is the obvious conclusion that anyone would come to if you don't know much else.
So 2014, 2015, this is the year of Asmongold.
Yes.
And I've used to watch Asmongold because I just like his cadence. He talked about shit I don't care about, like World of Warcraft and all that other stuff, but I just liked how he talked. And then he did that case with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and fucking ever since then, he's become like Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
it's just he became the normal guy. He's a relatable guy, other than he's a millionaire.
Yeah,
but he lives in his old house,
childhood home,
in the upstairs.
Yep.
There's rats.
Yep.
It's not good.
Yep.
He's unhealthy. He's balding.
Now, to be fair, he is changing all that around. Now, he's not going out and spending $1 million. He's just doing normal people stuff. He's going to the doctor. He's getting a little bit healthy.
No, I got that, but like he's just a normal guy.
Yeah.
And his viewpoints are from like what a normal person would say. And of course he's more pig-headed with like, well, I do get 1 million hits, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, he like Mikey, when we made this channel, the whole concept is this is a commentary, you know, community channel.
Right.
Right. I was showing you shit. Sometimes you show me shit, and it's all cringy, fucked up shit that's dumb.
Yeah.
Right. And then we react to it because we're just normal guys. You know, we used to do other things. We used to review movies and comic books and games and all that shit. But then we started talking about locals and fucking woke people like this shit, and people started watching.
People love train wrecks.
And I think people watch us because of, you know, the content, of course. But, you know, because we're normal guys.
Yeah.
We're normal people.
Genocide. They wanted more. It wasn't enough. This should come as no surprise, given Israel's history. A country that exists on the logic of ethnic supremacy and colonization requires a certain...
They didn't colonize it! They were given it by the colonizers.
Yep.
Get it right. Us Americans fucking gave it to them. Because we won a war. And we had to use a lot of money. And we were righting it wrong. Because back in the day, the Jews got that taken away from them. And then there's an ethnic cleansing from a guy that literally was a failed artist in Germany and blamed all the issues of World War I on the Jews. And then they had just, you know, a genocide of them. So to keep them safe and to kind of like hey, sorry we let this happen to you, gave them Israel.
Keep its inhabitants from collapsing under the weight of the reality of their rotten society.
Yeah, so those were some harsh words. Someone with 6,000 likes on his comment tries to humanize the innocent on both sides, while rightfully aiming blame at the evil people who are actually causing the war. Yet Noah takes the radical approach and dehumanizes one side by saying, actually, the Israelis are evil and rotten. Noah spends quite a bit of time
Yeah, he does. I want to do one more thing here.
God, he looks stoned off his mind.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think he lives on that bed, that couch.
Yep.
Bad. Israel's far-right government is bad, Ethan says, but so are terrorists. Genocide is bad. I don't agree with genocide, of course, but hijacking ships is bad too. It's against the law, which is bad. Everybody should just stop doing bad stuff. Okay, well, Israel's not stopping. They're not stopping the genocide. The US is not stopping its arms shipments so that
Okay, fuckhead. Here's another fun fact. Those fucking pirates, they're not going after fucking Israel fucking ships. They're going after ships of trade that are not even going in to fucking Israel. Most of them are from the Philippines.
Yep.
And a lot of the people that they hijacked are still missing. Mm-hmm. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You do not know what you're talking about. Shut the fuck up.
Israel can continue that genocide. That is the material reality. If you actually want that genocide to stop, you need to do something material to try to stop it. And so far in the world,
I love how his hair changed. like, watch.
It's against the law, which is bad. Everybody should just stop doing bad stuff. Okay, well, Israel's not stopping. They're not stopping the genocide. The US is not stopping its arms shipments so that Israel can continue that genocide. That is the material reality. If you actually want that genocide to stop, you need to do something material to try to stop it. And so far in the world, the only people doing that outside of Gaza militarily are Hezbollah and
so many freaking
Allah.
jump
If
cuts.
you spend all your time attacking these groups while sitting on the
Because he has to rub his nipples before every liberal thing he's saying.
sidelines, idealistically opining
I'm not saying he does that. I'm saying hypothetically, I think he is.
on what forms of resistance are
It only
Just a
makes
hypo-
sense.
It's a hypotenuse. I'm a banana bear. I'm allowed to say whatever the fuck I want. If anyone, if you're gonna take that as truth, say that in court. Banana Bear said this. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck's a banana bear?"
acceptable to you, then you're supporting the genocide. Full stop.
To be clear, he's saying violence. You need to do something material to stop it means violently attack people. But he won't outright say that because he's afraid of getting a channel strike. Actually, it's worse than that because Noah is saying here that if you don't support violence, then you're pro-genocide. And believe it or not, it gets even more worse than that as Noah goes full mask off in the next clip.
People living in the West have the most power over anyone else in the world to stop the genocide. We are
Me and you? People living in the West? What?
living in the belly of the beast. We have direct geographical, physical access to the politicians, the propagandists, the weapons companies, and the supply chains that are facilitating this genocide. Protesting is great. We should keep doing that. But also, I feel like we have to be honest with ourselves. 17 months in, and what is protesting actually accomplished?
It's quite clear. We in the West have direct physical access to a bunch of people, including the propagandists, after just labeling a bunch of people creators, propagandists. What does protesting achieve? Well, some things, but overall, basically nothing. If we want this to stop, we need to escalate. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry. If you had a clear vision for what needs to be done to stop the genocide, you would say it because you want to direct your audience into something fruitful. Unless the thing you want your audience to do is against TOS, criminal, violent, etc. He's calling for people to do dirty work for him. That's what this is. It is unambiguously a call for violence, okay? I'm sorry. And he doesn't want to spoil his cute little life. He doesn't want to fuck his income and ruin the little cushy career that he's got a hold of. He doesn't want to do that. He wants
How does he have a career? He reviews horribly.
other people to fuck up their lives and get thrown in jail or whatever else.
Well, he doesn't do that anymore. Now he's just a Hassan grifter. All he's talked about over the past year since he had the stuff we went over is basically Hamas and Israel and stuff that Hassan would cover because Hassan he's went under to the bread tuber type stuff and he is a Hassan lackey, like I said earlier. He is 100% a Hassan lackey. So basically, in closing, I don't want to watch any more of this video. I've gotten my points across. I feel like you've you understand that he's an idiot. Again, I'm sure everyone at home understands he's an idiot.
Okay, so people, if you haven't watched the video about this guy before, he said fucking the hills have eyes, right? Was a fucking allegory for fucking what was it? Black people being like muled into something?
That
or Indian people?
Indians. Like
But it was about cannibal people eating people. You fuck. Oh no, the cannibals are good guys. No, no, no.
Yes. But yeah, he's calling for violence against you and me, Corn, basically, because we are streamers and YouTubers who talk about this stuff, and we don't agree with him. So what if you can't protest? What's the next logical step? He won't say it, and he took this part out of his video because he was afraid he would get taken down to TOS after it was pointed out. So he's a big pussy too. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Just don't go watch this. Don't watch this stupid idiot. Hasan sucks. All bread tubers suck. That's a broad stroke too, because all of them are idiots like him. Like every single one I've seen, anybody that says Hasan is right or Hasan doesn't do anything wrong, don't watch them, because they are idiots and propagandists and whatever else you want to say. They fully are involved with Hasan and will root for anything he does, regardless of how insane it is.
The bad thing about YouTube, right? And a lot of you people, like anybody watching, right? Do your own research. Don't listen to me or Mikey.
Mm-hmm.
You can always do the research yourself.
Yeah.
Do not echo chamber. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like talking about the politics on here, because I don't want to be lumped up with, oh, they're conservative people.
Yeah.
But because we talk about dumb things that both sides could agree are dumb.
Yeah.
Like how one of the first locals we talked about was Ethan Ralph. He was conservative as fuck.
Oh yeah.
And he's a horrible person. Like I it doesn't matter what your viewpoints are politic wise. If you're a fucking idiot, I'm going to say you're an idiot.
Yep.
And if someone wants to say, "Oh, Banana Bear Show, you're a bunch of fucking dumbasses," okay,
do it in the comments. It's fine. We don't delete any comments.
It's your freedom of speech.
Yeah.
That's the beauty. That's the beautiful thing about the internet and in the United States. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, if you start saying, "Oh, you guys should like hang yourself by like your testicles on a tree," like that's a little different. Yeah. My testicles are very small, and that would be horrible. But the fact of the matter is, like your viewpoints politically should not base it shouldn't be your part of your personality, right? The first thing I'm going to say is, yeah, I'm from the United States. I like drawing. I like making videos like this. Mm-hmm. I like movies. I used to like comic books. Now they're all bad. I'm a swell guy. I like traveling. I go to Japan, and I'm not an asshole like other streamers. I try to be worldly, or not echo chambered. Now, no matter what, YouTube's gonna not YouTube, but Google's gonna echo chamber you,
right?
From the
algorithm. Yeah.
So, if you're already there, I'm sorry.
Yeah, maybe you can break out. Watch the Banana Bear Show. We'll try and be the center for you, ish.
Try, but we're right. We're in the right middle.
We have bias. I mean, everybody
bias
does.
Bias are right at the moment, but maybe they will fuck up and we'll be more middle.
Yep.
Who knows? I'm just talking like a normal guy.
I just like pointing at people
in the background.
I like pointing at people on the internet and being like, "This guy's an idiot." And it doesn't matter which side you're on. If you're saying stupid stuff, I'm going to tell you.
If you look at a fucking horror movie that you think has a social fucking message that fucking Wes Craven made in 1988, when this was not an issue, you're an idiot. And he's an idiot. And thankfully, he's not wearing a cowboy hat or a cowboy thing. And he got a haircut. Tassels. Yeah, dude, the tassels made him look very, very yay.
Yeah. Made him look very
yay.
feminine.
Yeah. Like a feminine toy, cowboy.
A bottom.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And with that, it's an episode. I am so happy that you got to experience this with me again, Gorm.
Thanks.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share the video with anybody and everybody. Leave a comment below on how much you think this guy should be off the internet. And Hasan and anyone else, all the bread tubers, just take them off the internet. They are not needed anymore. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Fucking. Never talk about movies again. Never.
Andy Dick screaming his poo-filled cries. Cyrax covered in scabs with bedbugs lies. The Banana Bear Show! Subscribe and buy a t-shirt. Lockout coverage makes you laugh till it hurt. The Banana Bear Show! Subscribe to the channel. The Banana Bear Show! Subscribe to the channel. The Banana Bear Show!